You are Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, Nuggets Nation, what is going on, everybody? Welcome on in to a Monday, March the 24th installment of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Wish it was a more exciting episode. Wish it was a victory show as Denver blows a 6-point fourth quarter lead early in the period there and winds up losing by 10 tonight to the Chicago Bulls, who are fighting for a spot in the NBA's play-in tournament. They've been surging as of late. Kobe White and company taking care of business here down the stretch, but make no mistake about it. I know there was no Aaron Gordon. I know there was no Nikola Jokic. Denver with just a sloppy effort late in this game, in my personal opinion. Transition defense continues to be an issue. Scoring without Jokic continues to be an issue. Rebounding without Jokic is an issue. Michael Porter Jr. not showing up is also an issue. Jamal Murray, though, played his rear end off tonight, folks. So shout out to Jamal. Good game tonight from him. But it is, at the end of the day, a 129-119 defeat as the Chicago Bulls take care of business on the road against the Denver Nuggets. Real quick, guys, tonight's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. More from our friends over at Monarch Money here in just a little bit. But as I always like to say, I'm the host of the show, but you, the fans, the listeners, are the ones that help me drive the conversation. Drop some thoughts, man. Let me know how you're feeling out there. This last week or so of Denver Nuggets basketball has been strange, to say the least. Obviously, you get the good win last night, knowing you had the second night of a back-to-back here coming up. Bookend that road trip with a nice victory. You know, you beat Golden State earlier in the road trip as well. On that, what was that, last Monday, I want to say. That was a great win for the Denver Nuggets without Nikola Jokic. But, here you are now in a 5-game sample size without the Joker. You go 2-3, and we'll see if he ends up playing here on Wednesday. But wins against Golden State, win against Houston, losing the Lakers, Portland, and Chicago. And I understand that Chicago has been playing better as of late. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games entering into this one, so now 8-2 in their last 10. Wins against the Magic, the Heat, the Pacers, the Nets, beat the Jazz, beat the Kings, beat the Lakers, and now the Nuggets. So some quality victories there. Kobe White playing out of his mind right now. But still, man, and look, I know it's the second night of the back-to-back. I got a buddy of mine in the media that was listening into Michael Malone's press conference. I've got it here on my TV. And it's hard to go in – it's hard to rip him a new one on the second night of the back-to-back down 2 starters. I mean, that's just the reality situation. No Jokic, no Aaron Gordon, right? Like, you kind of handicap yourself there. And I get that Chicago's playing better as of late, but this is a game that if Denver was able to fire on all cylinders, if Denver was able to get some three-point shooting outside of Jamal Murray tonight – and not just collapsing in the fourth quarter offensively. I mean, so many empty possessions, wide open three-point attempts. I mean, Denver could have lost this game by 20 if we're being honest with ourselves. We saw Vucevic miss a couple shots there down the stretch. Kobe White missed a pull-up 3 down the stretch. I mean, this could have been a lot worse for the Denver Nuggets, and they were in this one virtually till the end. But, it is a frustrating, and I get the refs were terrible tonight as well. I'm not going to make an excuse. You got to be good enough to beat the other team and the refs is always my perspective. But they also got no favors tonight from the referees. A couple phantom foul calls. Jamal obviously in foul trouble early in this game, so didn't play much there towards the end of the first half. But then, like I said, I mean, Jamal did his thing tonight, all things considered. Here against the Chicago Bulls, it's just a matter of not getting enough support around Jamal Murray tonight. And I saw this tweet from Vic Lombardi of Altitude as I was getting ready to do the show here. He says, Jamal Murray played his butt off tonight, played as hard as I've seen him play all year, really distraught walking off the court. He needed some scoring help. And I think that hits the nail on the head for sure. And, obviously the foul trouble ends up impacting Jamal in the overall, trajectory of this game. But I'm looking around at his teammates. Like where is Michael Porter Jr.? Peyton Watson had himself a nice game, career high 24 points tonight. But, that's not the guy that you expect to, show up and put up 20-plus points. Like, you expect Peyton Watson to go out there, knock down a couple of corner threes, make some good plays defensively, which he did with the 4 blocks, right? So I look at Peyton Watson's game tonight as a bit of cream. Like, you got something that you haven't been able to expect from Peyton Watson. But you know what the player that you should expect something from? And he's been so inconsistent all year, so maybe you shouldn't come to expect it. But when you look at the money he's making, when you look at the impact he had on that championship season, when you look at how he plays when he's feeling right and in a groove offensively, that's Michael Porter Jr. And an average night tonight at best for Michael Porter Jr. 16 points, terrible three-point shooting across the board from MPJ. Let's go ahead and play this, our turning point segment. Or, we'll do talking about it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Got to talk about Michael Porter Jr.'s performance. And I see we got a comment here from my guy Fernando. Hope you're doing well, brother. MPJ's three is broken 100%. And look, MPJ is an emotional player. When he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, right? Like he's a guy that, Jamal Murray, for example, at least from the eye test, I haven't talked to the guys about this necessarily. But like Jamal, when he's not having a good night offensively, he still figures out a way to try to get the ball in the bucket. I don't want to say just impact the game because MPJ, despite his woes offensively with the shooting, he's done a good job of cleaning the glass. I mean, the rebounds have been there this season for Michael Porter Jr. But the problem with that is you're not paying Michael Porter Jr. to be a rebounder first and a scorer second. It's a scorer first, defender second, and probably rebounds. You could flip-flop rebounds in defense however you want to, but he needs to be a scorer first. And tonight for Michael Porter Jr., he was just not that. A team worse, minus 22 in the box plus minus, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a block. But the glaring hole that you're scratching your head with, 1 of 10 from 3 tonight was Michael Porter Jr. And I looked this up in the middle of the game. It's not like he's shooting the ball from 3 all that poorly this season. I mean, he's just a hair under 40% this year. He's at 39.6% is what I'm seeing right now. Not sure if that's updated from tonight's stats. But, he's right around a 40% three-point shooter, which is, on par with, what we've seen from Michael Porter Jr. over the course of his career. I mean, let's take a look here at his season stats. Let's see. Let's go 21-22 post-COVID. Shot 35.9%. And in the last 3 years, or no, this is field goal percentage, excuse me. 22-23 shot 41%. That was obviously the championship season. 39.7% last year and 39.6% right now. So he's on par, for the most part, within spitting distance of his average. But the thing is, it's been streaky. I mean, looking at it in the last 10 games, again, I believe this is updated as of tonight. But Michael Porter Jr. is shooting 33.3% from 3 tonight. Just not good enough. 1 of 10 from 3, and I've said it before. I'll say it again. This Denver Nuggets team is going absolutely nowhere. Maybe a first round victory, and then you can kiss them goodbye in the second round, especially if they draw Minnesota come playoff time. If Michael Porter Jr. can't get the ball in the hoop, specifically from beyond the arc. So that's kind of my one big takeaway from this game is Jamal played his heart out. You got some nice play tonight from Peyton Watson, but Michael Porter Jr. just not good enough. And he's a guy that is paid like a star player, like an all-star caliber player, and he has not been that for the most part this season. He's had his moments, right? We've seen the MPJ games where it comes out, hits 3 in a row, boom, 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 all right, feeling good, 15 points going into halftime, and then kind of stack some plays there in the third and the fourth quarter, right? But, I mean, those games this year feel so few and far between. I mean, he had that nice little stretch right there before the All-Star break against subpar opponents. But when you need Michael Porter Jr. to step up, he has not been able to do that for this team this season, and that is a problem because this is a game that Denver absolutely, positively could have won. Should have won, dare I even say. And I understand, right? You want to make the natural excuse, and I can buy it to a certain extent. Second night of back-to-back, no Jokic, no Gordon, right? So, you got some handicap there. But if you're watching the flow of the game, if you're looking at the offense in the first half, if you're looking at having a 6-point lead early in the fourth quarter against a Bulls team that, yes, while is playing good right now this season, the body of work says otherwise. They're right around a 500 team. It's a game that Denver should win. If they're a championship caliber team, even without Jokic and Gordon, that's a game that Denver figures out a way to win, in my opinion. You got to show that you can do it without your best guy. And I understand that's easier said than done. But at the end of the day, I tweeted this out as well, at Media by AP, if you want to follow me on X. If this stretch, this last week of Denver Nuggets basketball doesn't show you just how valuable Nikola Jokic is, I don't know what to tell you. Denver is a fringe playoff team. Fringe. Likely a play-in team without Nikola Jokic, with the roster as is. That's just a fact. So it's a frustrating night. 129-119, your final score here for the Denver Nuggets, as the last week has been a bit of a whirlwind for them, losing tonight to the Chicago Bulls. All right, let me hit my first break, my only break of the evening. While I'm doing that, drop some comments. Let's go back and forth. Let me know how you're feeling out there. What's up with Michael Porter Jr.? Thoughts on Jamal Murray? Thoughts on Peyton Watson? How concerned are you about Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon not playing tonight? You got Milwaukee coming up on Wednesday. So go ahead and drop some comments. We'll have some fun. We'll go back and forth here when I come back after the break, right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Back in just a moment, folks. All right, you guys, real quick, let me tell you about our friends over at Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it is easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you just stop managing your money, or you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Now I budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Guys, listen up. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use that code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. Not your first month, your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off of your first year. Take control of your finances and check out our friends over at Monarch Money and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. All right, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. Got some exciting announcements coming out on the personal social. Some career news coming out there as well. So would appreciate the follow, appreciate the love. And also, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast right here on your Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. And tonight, it's a 129-119 loss for the Denver Nuggets against the Chicago Bulls. Coby White, did his thing. 37 points tonight for Mr. White. He did a great job tonight. 5 of 10 from 3, added 4 assists, couple of steals, a block, 3 rebounds as well. So a nice complete game from Coby White, who is playing as good as anybody in the NBA right now in the last week or so, as Chicago is now 8-2 in their last 10 games. Josh Giddey adds 26. Vucevic, kind of an off night for him offensively, but he put up 13. And, just a solid all-around performance tonight, I would say, from the Chicago Bulls, who are not going down this season without a fight. And Denver falls now to 23-12 at home. Chicago improves to 19-18 on the road. And again, they're 32-40, guys. Like, this is not, and it's weird, right? You lost to Portland twice this year. Chicago sweeps the series now. Washington twice. I mean, these are not characteristics of a championship team. Jokic or not. Just the reality of the situation. You got to, take care of business. And I saw our guy Ryan Blackburn, host of the Locked On Nuggets podcast, along with Swipecam and Matt Moore as well, talking about how, today, the hardest games for Denver down the stretch, despite, playing against some high-level opponents, right? They played the Lakers twice in recent memory. They just played Milwaukee not too long ago, Oklahoma City twice. It's the games against the bottom feeders, the Washingtons, the Chicagos, they got Utah coming up. Lord help us if they lose that game. It's the games that they should win. Again, Jokic or not, Gordon or not, that Denver finds themselves tripping over themselves here as of late. And, tonight, I haven't talked about it yet. I mean, the rebounding, I think Denver actually ended up winning the rebounding battle. But late in the fourth quarter, situational rebounding, Denver almost added 10 more. They had 9 more rebounds tonight than Chicago, 52-43. But if you're watching the game with your eyes and you're watching this game down the stretch, I mean, how many second chance opportunities did Chicago have and took advantage of? Transition, Denver. I mean, the Christian Brown Euro step is going to give me nightmares. I mean, there was a couple sequences I felt like in a row where Christian Brown just trying to penetrate, down the middle and just ugly shot, something that you're used to seeing Nikola Jokic convert at a high level. But I mean, the Nuggets offense just went absolutely to sleep tonight. I mean, let me see. I texted my buddy this at one point there in the fourth quarter. What was it? They missed 8 free throws at one point in the fourth quarter. It was a 14-3 run there in the fourth quarter at one point for Chicago. I mean, that is just unacceptable. It's just for a team that is, was 500 on the road and 31-40 entering into this match. I mean, you just can't do that. Again, and it's not like Jokic is a premium defender. Like, Jokic can get by on defense. Obviously, missing Aaron Gordon hurts there, but it's not like Nikola Jokic is like, Giannis out there or Wendy, right? I mean, it's just this reality of Nikola Jokic. He's an offensive guru and is, fine on defense, serviceable on defense at times. But tonight, man, it's frustrating. Looking at it tonight as well, you got some contributions from Zeke early, faded late. Russell Westbrook finishes with 14. Zeke had 7. Vlatko, 13 minutes. Goose egg, no points. Jalen Pickett, 12 minutes, 2 points. Not in a rush for Julian Strawther to come back. You know how I stand on that. Jalen Pickett versus Strawther. I just think Pickett's a little bit more steady and a little bit more reliable despite the limited opportunity. But just not enough. Jamal Murray, your leading scorer tonight with 28. DeAndre Jordan had a nice game, 10 and 17. So another double-double for DeAndre, second consecutive start. So, you like the contribution that you're getting from DeAndre Jordan at this point in his career. Missed a free throw down the stretch. Russ with a hesitation 3, kind of pump faked, and then, wasn't sure he wanted to shoot it. Shot it there late in the fourth quarter, didn't go. That was a shot that Denver had to have if they wanted to win this game. I mean, just a lot went wrong tonight for Denver in regards to executing in the clutch. And again, you want to chalk it up to second night of back-to-back, no Jokic, no Gordon. Okay, like I can't argue with you on that. But if you've watched this team the last week or so, something's not right. You just know something's not right. And it's scary. It is scary because you've got a prime Nikola Jokic who's banged up, who's more hurt than people think he is. Doing what he's been doing throughout, and he's been hurt for a majority of the season, folks. Played in the summer, in the Olympics over the summer as well. He can only do so much. And Jamal's been great, since 2025 and towards the tail end of 2024, but it's not enough. You need that. Who's that third guy? Aaron Gordon's been nice, but he's been hurt. You hope that he's going to be ready to go, locked in, come playoff time. But you need Michael Porter Jr. as well, folks. You need Michael Porter Jr. as well. Fernando says, good thing bad teams aren't in the playoffs, LOL, in response to Denver's record against these subpar teams, 100%. The only team that truly, there's 2 teams that, I guess Oklahoma City, but we've seen them beat them. I just think the Lakers and Luka are going to be tough, and obviously Minnesota. I mean, that's the team that you really worry about. I think Minnesota, obviously eats them for breakfast right now. Wasn't it 4 or 5 consecutive wins in a row for Minnesota? Denver's yet to beat them this year, and I believe they have one more matchup against the Timberwolves. Let's take a look here at the Nuggets schedule real quick. So you got Milwaukee coming to town on Wednesday. Yep. And then you've got Utah on Friday. And then, look at that. That's a nice little chunk of days off. 2 days in a row, Saturday, Sunday off for Denver over the weekend and Monday for that matter. So nice little 3-day of rest there for Denver before Minnesota comes to town on April the 1st. So that's your little 3-game sample size here. I mean, less than 10 games, only a handful of games remaining here, folks. Milwaukee, Utah, Minnesota, San Antonio, Golden State, Indiana, Sacramento, Memphis, and Houston. And of all those teams remaining, there's 2 that aren't going to make the playoffs, Utah and San Antonio. So tough games, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Golden State, Indiana, Sac, Memphis, Houston. It's not really getting any easier for the Denver Nuggets here. But this is a game that I thought Denver would win tonight. Before the game, thought they built some momentum. They've been good on the second night of back-to-back, learning to play without Jokic. And they just do not get the job done there in the fourth quarter despite having a lead at one point, losing tonight 129-119. But all right, that is going to do it for me, folks. Again, follow me on social media at Media by AP on your way out. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. A tough loss for the Denver Nuggets as they continue to flip-flop, win-loss, 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 129-119 here to the Chicago Bulls. Have a good rest of your Monday evening. We'll talk to you guys on Wednesday, hopefully after a Denver Nuggets dub against the Milwaukee Bucks. Have a good night, folks.